Pisces, Pisces. Welcome and welcome back. We're going to get into another reading. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for your love and support, Pisces. It's early, so I still got frog in the throat. Ain't nothing else. It's just the regular voice frog. Get your mind out the gutters. No, I'm just playing. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch Le Vibe. I hope you guys are doing well, or as well as can be expected. Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong when it comes to these readings, Pisces, okay? If you want to book a personal, literally the link is in the description box below. Okay. Let's see. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for Pisces. What is the message that you want Pisces to know at this time? And then we're going to figure out why. So what is the message for Pisces at this time? Ooh, boundaries. You know, somebody showed their teeth and you showed yours right back. You bit them. They got bit by the Pisces bug. Okay. Yeah, you're making a decision to move forward from someone because you just feel like the flow is off with this person, or something is off with somebody. Also, I feel if it's not a specific person, the vibe is vibe check. You did a vibe check and the vibe was not vibing. Okay. And I feel like you're deciding to move forward because you feel like that's what's meant to happen. Like, I don't think that you guys are, how can I say this? I don't think that you guys are like forcing anything or moving any kind of crazy ways. But see, look at what's at the bottom. I just saw a shadow. You got a warning, you know, or somebody was bringing out your dark side. And that was a warning. That was a red flag. Or there was definitely something that somebody was hiding, I feel like, from you, and you could sense it. So you put your guards up. Okay. This was integral to your core. When I say that, red and orange to me reminds me of the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So this was at the core of you, like at the root of it, or you found the root cause of something. But I definitely feel like there was like an instinctive sense of danger. Okay. And then we have karmic path. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I was adding the 2 and the 6 together to get 8. And then the 8 came out. So Saturn could be significant. Some of you guys are in your 30s. Because isn't that, you know, when you have your Saturn return when you turn 30? Yeah. It's a mess, okay? Let's read the shadow card first. I feel like you didn't feel like there was any teamwork when it comes to this situation, whatever you're dealing with, whoever you're dealing with. You got a warning. Let's see. Shadow says, what is hiding in the dark? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. What is it that you're afraid of or don't want to see? This card comes to tell you that all cannot be in the light because there must be a balance. Okay. Exploring the beast requires you to confront those unhealed parts of yourself, those aspects you deemed unworthy or unlovable. The time is now to bring light into those might be unusual, but it doesn't say that. The time is now to bring light into those usually concealed places and spaces, so they may be healed appropriately and or banished forever. The shadow or the hidden beast is not evil, just misunderstood. However, do tread carefully as you dive into sensitive territory. Humor, although not a solution, can help ease the growing pains of learning how to work best with the integrate That's wrong. Humor, although not a solution, it's early, y'all. Humor, although not a solution, can help ease the growing pains of learning how to best work with and integrate your shadow aspects with compassion. The symbol is the beast. And it says the beast is the hidden mythical monster under our beds or in our closets. It is the repressed parts of ourselves that we believe unlovable, unworthy, or fear-inspiring. Ironically, it is also the place where some of our most hidden and valuable strengths are to be discovered. Interesting. I feel like somebody or a situation brought out your dark side for sure. And it was probably to help you. It was probably to deal with it. It was probably a situation that tested you, because we just did that crash out reading. And some of y'all might have crashed out. Some of y'all might have wanted to crash out. Some of you were triggered, and that was the whole point of this person coming into your life, or the situation happening in your life, was so that you could be triggered. Because Spirit wants you to master those triggers, or at least not master them in a way where they're like you're controlling them and it's unhealthy, like suppression. But more so, they want you to, dang, and I forgot to, hold on. More so, they want you to be able to harness them and utilize them and have a level of healthy control over them. Hold on, y'all. Okay. I know it was only a second for you guys. I forgot to take my phone off of power save mode and put it on do not disturb. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like somebody triggered like a dark part of you to come to the surface. So I would suggest, I would honestly think it would be beneficial for you guys to really like look back and take it bit by bit, piece by piece, about what happened when you got triggered, or what happened when somebody tested you or pushed you to whatever limit that you felt like you were pushed to. Because if you take it step by step and say, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, it triggered this, then I reacted like this, then I was feeling like this, I feel like you will be able to master your emotions in those situations in a way that could really benefit you in the future, because I feel like this is preparing you for something. Okay. Boundaries says stand your ground, be your own guardian, and take up space. This is not the time to play small. Honor your space and create healthy boundaries in your situation. Meditate on this symbol when you want to set a healthy boundary and stick to it. Jaguar can also help you keep your integrity and standards high. Yeah, didn't they say something about integrity in the other card? Integral. I think they used the word integral. Because I messed up. I feel like I messed up on that word. Oh, no, they use integrate. Okay. Yeah, but that's still the same thing, kind of. Not really. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just thinking about integral and integrity and how they're connected. Yeah, it's really about who it is that you are. Like, having integrity means that you honor what you believe is right. You honor what you believe is fair. You're loyal and trustworthy and honest. And integral is like something that's true to who you are, like an integral part of you. Interesting. But the Jaguar says it's a symbol of integrity and impeccability. It has a healthy sense of boundaries and respects magic and the unknown. Okay. So yeah, there's a strength. Well, like there's a part of your shadow that may have shown itself during this situation. And it's actually a major strength that you have. It's valuable. Okay. Now, 8, Saturn, karmic path. Definitely meaning that you guys are on the right track to me. It says karmic lesson, learning experience, hard work, perseverance, and structure. A new and valuable lesson is available to you at this time. This moment requires your due diligence. Pay attention to what is being presented to you. Have you been down this road before? Let me clear my throat, bitch. Yo ass. Our souls come to this earth school to learn valuable lessons as beings and for the planet. What are you being taught right now? This moment may require hard work, but it will have many long-lasting rewards. You are not being punished, but you are gaining tools and experience for living that will be with you for the rest of your life. Drawing this card also tells you that the foundation of what you are building is strong and is part of your legacy. I'm telling you guys, Saturn is the symbol and it's the 6th planet from the sun. Okay. 6 could be significant. So June, and the 2nd largest in the solar system. Saturn is connected to the concepts of limitation and restrictions. Although it may seem depressing on the surface, Saturn's role in astrology is to bring meaning and structure to our lives. So whatever this shadow is, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's a boundary. Some of you, I know you motherfucking lying. Child. These little pests want to make me look like I'm dirty. But trust me, I am not. It's like a beetle. I don't know what that was. But listen. Yeah, it's a pest. Somebody may have been pestering you, picking at you, poking at you, bothering you, messing with you. Like, what it kind of feels like, you guys, is that whatever shadow was brought out was to show you that that's where you need to have a boundary. Whatever the situation is that happened was to show you that that's where you need to have a boundary. So if somebody was, oh my God, I almost choked. See, I don't know what the fuck this is about. But if somebody was doing something that ultimately like triggered you to revert back to old ways, or if somebody was doing something that maybe they've done to you before, but you didn't set a high enough boundary, or you didn't stick to your boundary, or they like triggered you to revert back to old habits or things like that, I really feel like that's what Spirit is trying to point out to you. They're trying to show you what you need to have a boundary with when it comes to situations and circumstances that you're experiencing. Now, yeah, let's use this deck. Fuck it. Now, we're going to use this one with this one. Ooh, see? Evil eye, wrong way. I feel like you may have had good intentions, but the choices that you were making or the direction that you were going in was the wrong way. And sometimes, we get redirected, and it's not a punishment like the card said. I feel like you need to use those hidden strengths to enforce those boundaries more concretely, so that you can understand why you're being taught this lesson. Because I feel like Spirit is preparing you for something where you're going to have strong boundaries. You're not going to be able to be like nice and okay. And I'm thinking of the part of Outlander. And it's the first episode of season 4. And it's when Claire and Jamie are in America now. Like their ship crashes and it's in America. They land in America. And Claire almost drowns, but she gets Jamie jumps in the water after her and they wash up on the shore and she's alive, but they don't know where they are and they don't know where the ship is. They think all of their people are like gone. But they find out they're in America, and pretty much the episode starts off with one of their friends being, sentenced to going on home to God, okay? And so because of that, Jamie encounters Stephen Bonnet, and I talked about Stephen Bonnet. He's a madman, okay? He's crazy. But he ends up helping him, but it's really, I feel, the tone of the scenes, it was against his better judgment. Like every single time Stephen Bonnet popped up and he asked Jamie for something, Jamie kind of like hesitated, but he helped him, or he, answered his question, whatever. But it was against his better judgment. So there's something that you are doing that you hesitate to do because your intuition is telling you not to do it. And you still do it anyway against your better judgment. Because what ended up happening when Jamie's friend was in the jailhouse, he came in there because he bribed the guard to go in there and talk to the friend because they were going to plan on breaking him out. And he was like, no, I don't want to put you through that. I want you to live a free life. I'll just accept my fate. So while he's in there, his friend was like, I only have 2 requests. And Jamie was like, well, what is it? He said, first, I want a shot of whiskey. But he didn't have no whiskey. He just had rum. So he gave him the rum. And here comes Stephen Bonnet, greedy ass. Oh, can you spare another drop for a friend? Trying to be manipulative, right? And Jamie hesitated because he's like, who the fuck is you? And he looked at him, but then he just kind of gave in and gave him the rum. And then his friend was like, yeah, just smile at me when they drop the rope, So he did. And then Stephen Bonnet, because of their anger and like the other friends that they had with them being angry about this because it wasn't really fair, they started this ruckus. But it was just because he was grieving, and not Jamie, but somebody else was grieving, and he got all upset. And pretty much Stephen Bonnet took that opportunity to run. It was actually 2 other prisoners that ran first. But Stephen Bonnet was watching because he's smart. So he was watching. They immediately got like chased and stuff like that. And he snuck off. Stephen Bonnet snuck off real slow. Ma'am, shut the fuck up. He snuck off real slow. So they didn't really catch him at first. But then people started seeing him running. And he was beating a lot of people up. He hid in the wagon. He hid in Jamie and Claire's wagon. So when they went to bury their friend, he popped out the wagon and scared everybody half to death because they thought it was the friend, rising from the dead like he was a ghost. But it was Stephen Bonnet. So that whole time he's begging Jamie, oh, can you please? He already hid in the wagon without Jamie's permission. And Jamie already gave him the whiskey or the rum and hesitated. But then he asked, can you please help sneak me out of town? And Jamie was like, man, because Jamie, if you watch the show, Jamie done had a bad history with being an outlaw and, being a wanted man. So he's not trying to get in no trouble. And Claire was looking at Jamie and Steven and back at Jamie to see what he was going to say. And Jamie basically said no at first. He was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Right. And Claire just turned around and like agreed with her husband. But then Steven kept begging, kept trying to be flattering and, kind and cordial. Child, they ended up taking him out of town. They ended up bandaging his leg because the army tried to stab, the wagon to make sure that, nobody was in there. And at the end of the flipping episode, Stephen flipping Bonnet, that motherfucker robbed a little riverboat on the way to Aunt Jacasta's house. Robbed the riverboat. Knowing it was, I mean, I don't know if they knew it was them, but when they saw it was them, it's like, all right, I'm not going to rob you because you literally gave me my life. You literally saved my life. And then he robbed that man blind, unalived his friend, beat up his nephew and beat him up, and took Claire's wedding ring. Craziness. And each time that Jamie helped that man or gave him something, he either did it unwillingly or he did it under duress or hesitation. So that's just a channel message for you guys, that I feel whoever this is that you deal with or have a connection to against your better judgment, or whatever it is that you're doing against your better judgment, or whenever you make a decision but your intuition is telling you no, but you still do it against your better judgment, I think Spirit is trying to teach you a lesson about faith. I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to recognize how fear plays a role in your choices and how it obstructs your intuition and your discernment. And I feel like they want you to understand how much of a gift those abilities are, because they literally lead you down a path that's less stressful, that is more aligned with where you're meant to go and what you're meant to do. And with Saturn, it feels just like that's what it's supposed to be at this point in your life. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's what I feel like this is about. I feel like it's about something that you're doing, someone who you're dealing with, someone who you're helping against your better judgment, because you feel that you shouldn't let this person in your life, or you feel like you can't really trust them, or you feel like they aren't being genuine, or you feel like this situation isn't trustworthy enough, but you still do it against your better judgment. It's kind of like when kids go to a party. Ooh, cash flow. Self-reflection. Ooh, black magic. Interesting. Yeah, so it's like kind of like when teenagers go to a party with their friends or get in the car with their friends and their friends are drunk, but they know that they shouldn't do it, but they still do it against their better judgment. And, by the grace of God, most of them make it home, but some of them don't. You get what I'm saying? So I think somebody was really trying to trigger you. I don't know why, but with the black magic card, it feels like they were trying to trigger you so that they can like siphon your energy in some way. They had a dark intention for what they were doing. Why is Pisces getting this message? New perspective, new view. Yeah. I feel like you're starting to see your life in a different light. Look, the phases card and the dead card. Something that's come to a complete end. So you have a new perspective on life, or you have a new perspective on like where you are right now in your journey. And this phase is over. Definitely talking about endings that bring a new perspective. Or because something is over, you've gained a new perspective. And the phase of your life where simultaneously this cycle was able to thrive is over as well. Yeah, so it's like two endings. It's an ending of situations like this, and it's a gaining of a new perspective to cause like this to never happen again, so that kind of like that ends the phase. Wow, obsession popped out, you guys. Somebody's obsessed with their own reflection. Somebody could be very narcissistic. And I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist, so please don't take this as medical advice. I can't diagnose anyone. The word is overused in the spiritual community. I don't necessarily like using it, but with the self-reflection card and obsessed coming out, and y'all just saw it, you can run it back. That's just like the the namesake of narcissism, which is Narcissus, who drowned looking at his own reflection in a freaking puddle, okay? Might have been a lake or a river, I don't know. But, you know. Why is Pisces getting this message? Why else? New Year's and Muse. Yeah, I feel like you're inspired by... Maybe you're inspired by the new year, or you're ready for New Year's. Something, it's like you're setting a goal. Maybe you set a resolution the beginning of 2024. I mean, damn, didn't mean to say that. You might have that could have been it. You might have set a resolution at the beginning of 2024. And because you're magical, it was a spell. And therefore, all of these things had to end. Or it could have been 2025. Take it how it resonates. You could even be planning for 2026. But I feel like you have a new perspective on your life this year. And you want to be ready for next year. Astral travel, purify. Some of you guys have traveled into the future, into next year whenever you watch this. Because I know people watch it after the time. But I think you projected into the future. And you saw what your life was going to look like. And kind of like energetically, systematically, you just automatically wanted to purify and cleanse your energy. It inspired you. Even if you don't remember what the dream is, I feel like you had a feeling from a dream that you had, even if you don't remember it. And it was because you knew that it was about your future, and it was something really positive that I feel like kind of imprinted on you to make you want to like cleanse your energy. Yeah. One more card. Blackmail. Someone could be getting blackmailed. What the heck? The heck? Bound. Feeling bound to a current situation. Toxic family. Yeah, you got toxic family members that are like trying to guilt trip you, possibly, into helping them. Or trying to guilt trip you into, you know, staying the same, pretty much. And it's kind of crazy, okay? Yeah, so basically you're getting this message because you're bound to someone toxic, whether it's a family member, someone you've known for a long time, I don't care who it is. But you're bound to a toxic group dynamic or a toxic individual that you have history with. And even though you're seeing things from a higher perspective and you're inspired to make changes in your life and move towards the future, this is still holding you kind of hostage. Or it's still influencing choices and decisions that you make in your life. Ooh, snap. This doesn't even have to be the specific person. You might not have been dealing with a toxic family member, but the fact that maybe you grew up in a toxic family dynamic, excuse me, that could be why certain situations like this take place pretty frequently for you. Because maybe your family didn't teach you about having boundaries. Maybe they violated your boundaries. Because I know it could be something simple. It doesn't have to be like inappropriate. But like, I mean, it is inappropriate, but I'm talking about heinous, inappropriate shit. It doesn't have to be that. I remember when I had first moved down here to Georgia, I had a diary, right? And my aunt and uncle read my diary. And I felt like that was such a violation of privacy. And I'm like, why would you do, like, that's the whole point of having a diary. Like, don't read my fucking diary. Like, they were mad at me because of what they saw in my diary. But I was mad at them because, like, bitch, it's none of your fucking business, ho. You shouldn't have read my damn diary. And as a teenager, I did cuss them out. Honestly, I ain't even gonna hold you. I wasn't bad, but I was not. I was, man. If y'all think those of you who've been around this channel since the beginning, since the old channel Nutcase Network, and you was around for the beginning, or you've watched my old readings, if you think my mouth was bad then, y'all ain't seen shit. My mouth used to be horrible as a child, as a teenager. Horrible. And I'm not talking about cussing. I'm talking about skin you alive, verbally and metaphorically speaking, when it comes to the way that I'm gonna hurt your fucking feelings. I did not care. I was saying some heinous shit. And because I'm a Pisces, I was literally reading people and telling them all their shadows that they didn't want to see, pointing a mirror at them with no fucking filter, and the anger of not having a mama. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. And I cussed them motherfuckers out. But they deserved it, because you shouldn't have went under my bed searching for shit in my hiding spots. I literally hid my diary. You went in there intentionally searching for it and read it. So you get what you get. If you don't like what you see or you don't like what you find, you shouldn't have went looking for it. And that was like a violation of my boundaries. But like that, I'm giving you that example because those little things are things that sometimes we don't realize have affected us in a negative way. And when I went to therapy, okay, because some of y'all may need to find a good therapist. Not all of them are good, but some of them are. Over the years, I went to therapy and I realized that that was something that really hurt me, and it caused me to feel that whatever boundaries I set wouldn't be respected anyway. So there wasn't really a point of setting boundaries because I just felt like people were going to violate them and do what they wanted anyway. So it would just be easier for me. Like I rationalized it because I felt like, well, if I just don't really care or don't set any boundaries, emotionally, it'll be easier for me to cope with it if I don't set myself up expectation wise to fail. So if I don't set a boundary, I won't be disappointed when somebody oversteps the boundary, not knowing that that was destructive. It was self-destructive. So, you know, and there were other things, but that was just one example. And I think that's kind of what this is that you guys are dealing with. Yeah, violent. Could definitely be anger. Some of you guys got abused as a child, or you got a lot of whoopings. You know, and I do believe in whoopings, but I also believe that there are other ways to discipline your kids. It just depends on your child and the situation. Some kids need their ass whooped. Okay. But some kids just need some type of creative discipline. So that might have been your situation too. What else? Why else is Pisces getting this message? I see you in my dreams all the time. Ooh. Didn't I say something about a dream? Doubtful. Obsessive again, bitch. So somebody is obsessed with you because they see you in their dreams, but they don't believe. They're a non-believer. Maybe they're atheist. I don't know. Or they could be a different religion or have different spiritual beliefs than you, but they have a lot of doubt. What else? Why is this message? I have, the thoughts of taking themselves up out of here. Okay. Paranoia and perfectionist. Yeah. Now this could be talking about you. Yeah, but I definitely feel like there's somebody here who wants to keep you tied down or bound in a situation. I feel like you could be mirroring each other, but there's paranoia and perfectionism. Like somebody's paranoid about like being perfect or They have a lot of anxiety or paranoia, worries, fears. What else? One more card. Ooh, all the dark night of the soul cards came out. My insecurities are getting the best of me. So somebody is going through a time in their life where it's difficult for them to understand, I was going to say real from fake. So it's hard for this person to understand what's real and what's fake. I don't know if they got schizophrenia or some shit, but I'm not going to diagnose nobody. But that's what it felt like just now. I wanted to say they don't know the real from the fake. Now, this could just be in general when it comes to like people's demeanor, but that's what it feels like to me. This person is going through a difficult time where they're trying to figure out why their life is going the way it's going and wondering what the fuck is going on. And they doubt themselves. They have a lot of anxiety and paranoia. They feel like they're supposed to be perfect when they're not. And this could be you. I don't know if you're going through a dark night of the soul, but I feel like you can understand. I don't think this is you guys. I feel like you can understand these emotions and you can empathize with these emotions because they're the same feelings that you may have gone through when you transition into a more ascended position. But I really think somebody does not believe, even though I feel like you inspire this person, I feel like they don't believe you or something. I'm going through a transformation and it hurts. See what I'm saying? And see, this is so stupid because whoever these people are or whatever the situation is where somebody's going through something really tough and difficult, that's why I said you could empathize with this person. You could really help this person like get through this, help guide them through this, maybe even inspire them like with the Muse card. Like, I feel like you were supposed to be an inspiration to this person or help this person go through this time in their life, but they're pushing you away or they're misusing and abusing you in the situation. And that's why you have to set a boundary. Cause like, bruh, it doesn't matter how much angelic power or energy that I have. It doesn't matter how much I'm supposed to be your maybe guardian angel, your guide, whatever I am on this earth to you. No matter how much I'm supposed to inspire you and help you through this process, you also not gonna fuck with me. Okay, that's kind of what this is saying. So yeah, and then judgmental. So it's like, I just feel like this person is judging you for your perspective, not knowing that your perspective is what's gonna kind of not save them, but your perspective is what's going to help them feel some type of relief when it comes to this situation. And I just feel like they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They put their fingers in their ear talking about la 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 la. Like a dummy. But that's all right. Let that motherfucker drown. That ain't your problem. You can't just because you feel like, oh, I was meant, we was meant to meet each other and you know, it was meant to happen like this. No, that doesn't mean you let somebody abuse you, because then you're going to take yourself back to them same lessons that spirit is trying to teach you. And you're going to end up going through karmic situations that stress you the fuck out. And you have to learn the lesson again. And I don't think y'all want to do that. Okay. Could be a Leo strength card. So what is the situation that Pisces is experiencing, Spirit? What is the situation when it comes to this message? Page of Cups. So this could be a friend, could be a sibling with the Page of Cups, brother, sister, or somebody that you know kind of casually as a friend. This could also be like you having dreams, goals, aspirations to like believe in yourself. Because this could be a boundary of other people's perspectives and judgments towards you with the Judgment card. Two of Cups, yeah. But this is a friendship. Knight of Cups, okay. Somebody may have some type of feelings. I feel like you're meeting somebody who's young. Or this could involve like you trying to mentor your kids. But whoever this person is younger than you or they have less experience than you. Okay. What's the Page of Cups for this situation? Maybe you met this person when you were young too. Like you might have been a little bit younger than them. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Both of you could be water signs. I almost said water signs and then said Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Child. Maybe that. Maybe Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Maybe Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Or you just could have both been very young when you met each other. What's the Page of Cups for this situation? Hangman, Three of Swords, Chariot. Yeah, Cancer and Pisces. Doesn't have to be. But, yeah, like somebody rushing in, coming in quickly, and then leaving you hanging. That's what it is. Somebody rushed in quick, caused some type of pain, and left you in like a stuck position or like a contemplative position. I feel like people come into our lives to help us, regardless of whether they're good people or not. And people may come into our lives thinking that they're going to hurt us, but they actually help us. Even though they do something hurtful, it helps us. You just have to have the right perspective. And I feel like that's what this is about. You're looking at your pain from a higher perspective. Somebody definitely rushed in and was going all fast and you know, doing all this type of stuff just to leave you hanging or leave you feeling stuck. Nine of Swords, Page of Swords. You feel betrayed by this person. I feel like a lot of your thoughts are centered around like you knowing that you went against your better judgment or you knowing that you shouldn't have made whatever decision that you made. Well, it's something about you. It's something about you kind of like judging yourself or being a little bit ashamed of yourself for making whatever decision that you made because you feel like you should have known better or you feel like you knew better, but you still made the wrong decision. But it's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, I feel like you were kind, you were genuine, you were authentic to who it is that you are. You had an open heart. You knew that, you know, somebody could possibly hurt you, but you knew that they were hurting too, and you didn't want them to be hurting, or you knew that someone may have been being dishonest, but you wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and try to, you know, give them the same courtesy that you would appreciate in return. And somebody just fucked you, and it's okay. But what I feel is that Spirit, I don't think, we'll get the advice, but I don't think Spirit is telling you to like stop being kind or nurturing or authentic to who it is you are. It's just that I think some of you need not to beat yourself up about it when it comes down to people doing this to you, because it's like, and I be learning shit on TikTok, y'all, but it's like you, if you think about what someone else did from a position of yourself, you're going to feel hurt. But if you put yourself in their shoes and you think about like what they did from their perspective, they were just getting what they wanted. They were just getting what they needed. They were just doing what they felt like they were supposed to do. So in a way, I feel like detaching yourself from what you expect people to do from your perspective and evaluating situations from what you would expect for them to do to you if you were in their position. You know, you get what I'm saying? Look at it from their point of view. And if you were in their position, I don't want to hear